Yeah, so it's a problem. But it is a pleasure for me to be here this afternoon to talk to you about a game that has absolutely nothing to do with skill. Rugby football. Think about it, rugby football is the only game that is truly based on genetics. How do people start playing rugby? They all start the same way. They kick a ball around the money field, it doesn't roll straight. A couple of smart boys pick it up and pass it. And then a teacher or a coach comes out and he lines you up and he looks at you and he says, right, the two tall boys holding hands, you'll be second row. The two boys that argue all the time, you'll be scrum half and fly half. Smart boys that pick the ball up, you know the sort, neatly combed hair, creases in the shorts, turned up collars, centres. The boy no one likes, full back. The three boys that walk through doors without opening them, well, they'll be the back row, and the blonde one will be the open side flanker. He lines the rest of you up, he throws the ball at you. Those that drop it, wingers. Then if you were like me, you looked around and you noticed that there were three of you left. And you all shared the same characteristics. You're all short, and you're all fat. And you're going to be the front row. But, if you're lucky, you're slightly taller than one of the other guys. Because the short guy is going to be a hooker. The human equivalent of mad cow's disease. The best example I know, he said it's the best example, Brian Moore. Brian Moore is the sort of guy, if you buy a set of cufflinks, he gets his wrist pierced so he can wear them. Standing in the sunny Richmond with him a few months ago, we're throwing a few pints of Guinness down the neck, and this little Irish fellow walked up to him and he said, Brian Moore, I think you're a pig. He threw his beer in his face, he turned and walked away. Brian was gutted. He turned to me and said, Jeff, why do people take an instant dislike to me? I said, it saves time, Brian. I joined the England team in 1985 and played against various teams, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Japan, America. But in those days, you never got capped when you played against those nations because they weren't deemed worthy. Rather like Scotland now, versus France at the Parc des Princes. Meet Wednesday night, Streatham Memorial Grounds, 7 o'clock. Now, I knew that I was playing. A lot of people have asked me how I knew I was playing, and it was really relative. For the first time in 3 years, I actually got an original copy of the letter. I turned up the stoop, 7 o'clock Wednesday night, got changed, went out, rucking practice, morning practice, tackling practice, line-up practice, scrummaging practice. We were out there for 2.5 hours and it was pissing down with rain. Meanwhile, the backs are in the hotel, washing their hair, packing their suitcases, getting ready for that long, arduous journey to Paris. You know. We flew out to Paris, landed in Paris, got on the coach, went out to Versailles, where we checked into the Trilliant Palace Hotel. The hotel where the England rugby team always used to stay before and after the games until 1986. After 1986, they only stayed there before the game and in the centre of Paris after. And that was because in 1986, as usual, we left the official function at 12:30 Sunday morning, arriving back in Versailles at 1:30 Sunday morning. And those of you that have been to Versailles at 1:30 on a Sunday morning will know there's bugger all to do there, apart from drinking the hotel bar. Well, we did that till 4:30. And then Gareth Chilcott decided he'd go and visit all his friends. He broke down 33 doors. The consequences of his actions were twofold. One, he was immediately banned from the England squad for 12 months. Two, he still gets a Christmas card from the carpenter every year. Friday game, we had the press game. Most of you won't know, but before every international, on the Friday, there's a press game. What happens is the England rugby team go off to a local club where they do 8 scrums for various positions on the field, 8 line-outs for various positions on the field. They win the ball, they give it to the back to a rocket and radio 2.5. They hit the fullback who bisects the centres. He then scissors with the onside winger who diagonally cuts across the field, who pops the ball back inside the onside flanker who's cut between the inside centre and the fly half. He then pops the ball back inside the blind side winger who's cut between the fly half and the scrum half, who pops the ball back inside the number 8 who's cut between the scrum half and the scrum. He diagonally cuts across the field where he meets the inside centre running on a straight track, pops the ball inside him, and the inside centre runs 5 metres to score between the posts. It's relatively simple, we always score, there's no opposition.
Wasps, your old club.
What about Wasps? Yeah, if Wasps get relegated, in all probability they'll disappear. They don't own the ground, so they've got no asset. Even if you're a millionaire, would you buy a team that has no ground, no assets, only the players, and the players are a liability because you have to pay them wages. So the reality is, if they get relegated, it will not be relegation, it'll be liquidation. They will go. Unlike Newcastle on their ground, they would steady the ship and turn themselves around. If Wasps survive and manage to stay in the Premiership, they may find a buyer, but it's going to be hard. Why are married women always slightly bigger than single women? And the answer is actually very simple. When a single woman comes home from work, she goes to the fridge, she opens the door, she sees what's in there, she closes the door, and she goes to bed. When a married woman comes home from work, she goes to the bedroom, she opens the door, she sees what's in there, she closes the door, and she goes to the fridge. Thank you very much, it's nice to speak to you. Enjoy the game.
Ladies and gentlemen.